Hi, this is Garry from Next Actions. How often have you started a task or a project only to give in partway through because, well, it gets too hard? How often do you look at tasks and think, well, that's too much work, so you skip over them? These both happen more often than you think. People take a look at their projects or their tasks and then they move on because, well, they think it's either too much work or just too hard. Join me now to talk about how you can overcome this, how you can move away from that too hard thinking and into the that's easy to do mindset. Take a look at your task list. I'll bet there's lots of things on there that you may be labelling as either too hard or too much work. I know I certainly have things like that. I used to look at them and I used to think, nah, that's too much work, and then I'd move on to the next thing. Tasks and projects, well, they'd sit like that for months. Every day I'd look at them, and every day I'd skip over them. This list of too hard projects, well, it just kept on growing. What I needed to do was to think about them differently. Rather than skipping over them, I needed to start doing them. The way to do this, well, it was actually to stop. Stop and then spend some time actually thinking about the project or the task. I would then use this thinking to break that task down into some smaller subtasks, and each of these, well, I could more easily do them. An example of this, it's with these videos and the podcasts that I now do. I first wrote down about 2 years ago, start releasing videos. Every time I looked at this, I'd think, oh, that's a good idea, but it's a lot of work. And I'd also think, well, I don't really have the skills to do this. I'd then pass over it and move on to the next item on my task list. The results? It was too much, and I did nothing to help me to grow the skills that I needed. Then, one day, I just stopped. I looked at the task and I thought, what can I do to start achieving this? I didn't move on. I spent some time thinking about this and I started to break it down. I thought to myself, what do I really need to do to start making videos? The first thing, well, I needed to decide, what am I going to make them about? So I wrote it down into an outline. You may want to use a mind map. I want to make some videos with business tips in them. The next step, well, it's to start coming up with ideas for the videos. I started to add to my outline a list of videos that I would like to watch, because if I'd like to watch it, I'm hoping that other people would like to watch similar videos. I didn't put too much detail into this, it was just a list of videos, things like setting boundaries, identifying needs, accountability. I ended up with a list of about 20 things that I thought I could make videos about. This list, well, it's now up to 41 and I'm adding new items to it every week. I then thought, well, what equipment do I need? What software do I need to make these videos? It all came down to I needed a camera, a microphone and some software to edit it with. I looked at what I had. My laptop has a built-in camera and it's also got a built-in microphone, so I was covered for the equipment. I use Apple, so it also had a free version of iMovie, which is a very basic video editing package, which meant I had the software that I needed. I had everything that I needed to start making videos. Yes, this equipment, this software, it's very basic, but it let me start, and since then I've upgraded those, but the key was I could start. So the total amount that it cost me to start making videos, it was nothing. I had everything that I needed already. And chances are, other people in a similar situation, they've also got everything they need. They've just never sat down and thought about it. By breaking it down, I took a seemingly hard thing and I made it easier. And this, it's the key to achieving anything. Stop looking at it as something that is hard. Instead, take that step back, spend some time to think about the project or the task. Take the time and fully understand it. Dig deep so you can see what you want to achieve and you can see how you can achieve it, and then use this to start to break it down into some simpler steps. Each of these steps, well, it's something that you can more easily achieve. If one of those steps looks difficult, just repeat the process on it. Break it down again into some even more smaller steps. Each of these steps, well, it's a little bit easier and it enables you to get on and just do it. So coming back to my example, I'd written down that I was going to do a video on accountability. I would look at it and the other video ideas and I'd think, oh, that's too hard. I'd then skip over it. So what do? I apply the process. I spent a bit of time and I broke it down into smaller steps. These were: research accountability, write a script for accountability, review and refine the script, record the video, edit the video, release the video to YouTube and Facebook. By breaking down into smaller steps, I was able to start seeing each of them more clearly. I looked at research accountability and, well, this was something I could do. I got on and I did it. Once I'd spent the time doing that, I was then able to move on and write my first script. This script, it certainly wasn't perfect, but it did give me a starting point. I now had something that I could work with. And this, it moved into that refine phase, which moved into the record phase, then edit, and finally release. I had broken through the block that I had put there by saying, it's too hard. And I delivered a video. I had achieved something hard by doing lots of smaller, simpler things. I could then repeat this process with the next item, breaking it down to things that I can do and then doing them one after the other. I went from having no videos to being able to release one video per week. As part of this, well, I was also improving my video skills. The first videos were, well, I've got to be honest, they were awful. But each week, I'd make sure that I improved one thing. I wasn't trying to be perfect overnight. And to be honest, that was quite hard because I'm quite a perfectionist. What I was trying to do was make one improvement per week. This could be in how I write the script. It could be by making myself do a read-through out loud rather than just in my head. I identified equipment that would make it easier for me to make and edit the videos. I changed things in the processes that I used. Every week I would make just one change. But over time, these changes, well, they add up. With each change, you are improving your end result. With each change, you're getting better. With each change, you're moving closer to the results you deserve. Do you have something that you're constantly putting off? Can you share it in the comments below? If you liked this video, please hit the like button. And do you know of anyone who would benefit from this video? If you do, why not share it with them now? And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you can get new videos as I release them. To summarise, when you come across something that you think is too hard, don't just skip over it. Stop. Take some time to think and investigate it. Then break it down into smaller subtasks. Each of these, they're easier for you to achieve, and if you need to, break some of these subtasks down even further. With each repetition, you're taking something that is hard and you're turning it into a series of things that are easier. Once you've broken it down, well, then you can start to do those simpler subtasks. Take them one at a time and complete them. Each one you complete then allows you to move on to the next action, and then the next and the next. Before you know it, you're done. You've done all those smaller and simpler tasks, and by doing that, you've completed that hard one. You have delivered the results you deserve. If you have a problem, project or task that you think is too hard, well, give me a call. Working together, we can break that down into smaller, simpler steps. We can understand each of these steps and we can do them. We can deliver the results. Please reach out to me on 0415 591 672. I'm based in Australia, so please use the international dialing code +61 if you're calling from another country. You can also email me on Garry@nextactions.com.au or visit nextactions.com.au, where you'll find a link to book a free short introductory call. Do you have any topics that you'd like me to cover? If you do, please drop a comment below and I'll add them to the list of upcoming videos. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.